Hi everybody, it's Tamara from Eyes, and I have my latest junk journal to share with you. And I'm not sure, I think I might call it Virginia Bluebells. I'm not really sure yet, but that's the name on the bookmark that's sticking out, so that might be it. It's a little plain on the front and the back, just because I love this blue cover, or blue color, and I don't really know how to describe it, but it's just a beautiful, almost like an antique blue maybe, I'm not really sure. There's 3 signatures. I didn't count the pages, but there's lots of stuff in there, lots of pockets in this one. Some metal corners, and these are the kind that you just glue on. I prefer the ones that wrap around and you snip closed with some pliers, but I had these in my stash and I'm trying to use up stuff in my stash because I got a lot, so time to use it up. So we'll do a little flip through here. I just want to say please excuse my hands. I've just been outside in the garden and I was using some pruning paste, and if you've ever worked with that, you know it's really gummy, and once it hits your skin, it stains your hands. So these will be my hands for the next few days probably. But anyway, so that'll probably be all you see now while you're looking at my journal. But let's open it up and take a peek inside. Let's see here. So we've got some pretty dragonflies to match the colors on the cover. Little book plate. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I recently came across a folder full of butterfly images, and so I've been cutting them out, and so now I've got butterflies on everything. I normally put butterflies everywhere anyway, but now I have a lot, so I'm trying to use them up. This is a giant pocket. It's opens on the side, and that's just made with a great big paint chip. So each of the 3 signatures is just made with craft paper with a scallop pocket on the insides, and got a couple of little ephemera pieces here. So I thought I'd show you, because you see these in almost all my journals. This comes from this book, A Garland of Love, Daily Reflections, and so you can just pick a day, any day, and you get a lovely little something to think about love. So that there's one of those in there, and then a tag. There's another butterfly and some washi. And I was at the thrift store a couple weeks ago, and this is sort of like a waffle paper, and there was a pack of 3 of these for 25 cents, which is a real steal. And I've been trying to find this stuff in bags of cookies. I know it's a hard job, but but they don't put it in cookie bags anymore. So so I was really happy when I found it at the thrift store. And this is, so I ink this all up, and then I put the tag or page, whatever it is, on top, use my brayer, and then I get all these beautiful lines on the piece. So I'm really happy with that purchase. And this is from the Country Registrar, which is that crafting, sewing, quilting newspaper that I always pull from. There's some coffee stain, and again, if you've seen some of these pages if you follow me on Instagram, I've been sort of showing, and I should actually mention I've had to change my Instagram because I got a shadow ban, which is very frustrating, on my main account. So I've siphoned off my sewing projects onto an account called Tamara Sews, and my journaling is on the account is Prairie Town Girl, I believe. I'll make sure to put a link somewhere. So anyways, I've been sharing some of these pages on that feed. And there's a little top in there. Some cross stitch patterns, graph paper. This is a little pocket here. What I need to do is find a tag. There's that tag. So I can show you where all the spots are. Whoops. Okay, so there is a little pocket right in there. And this is basically the hinge. I made it really big and fat and pretty. And then just, of course, just glued at the top and the bottom. And then there's a spot to go in there. And this is like the index page of an atlas or something like that. And then this is a neat little envelope. So there's a spot in there, and then it has a little flap. So you can journal, you can do something here, and then but then you can hide it. And like a little secret spot. Some line paper, tea stained, map. I like this hinge as well. I just think it's pretty. I like this idea of, I usually do like a really thin, unobtrusive hinge, and I decided to start doing more decorative hinges. And that's from a page-a-day calendar. I think it's like the, 1,000 places to see before you die calendar. And this is a great big sort of pockety tuck spot there. And that's, oh yeah, there's a little spot there that you can tuck into. And we'll flip. And then we're getting to the end, and then we've got a couple of little envelopes. If you can see that, it says, I think it says Discover. This is some little metal tags I had in my stash. It's a nice little envelope, and I used napkins. And then this is what my guitar strings come in, so I've started keeping those and decorating them, and I think they're a nice size to put in the journal. Another one made with another napkin. And this is some stationery. Then I did a little bit of stenciling. And I printed off some papers, and then I coffee stained those after I printed them, and I really like the effect that that gives. So I did a little bit of that. This card bag. This is a vintage Christmas card, and I was going to cut off just the front of it, but I really like the font inside of here, so I'm just going to keep it as a card and leave it in there intact. And then a waterfall. I like to do waterfalls, as you know. And yeah, there's a couple little tags back in here. And this is the other side of the bag. There's some butterflies, of course, and then that's the other side of that card. And just a little, well, it's actually a big bookmark, and that's from a gardening book that has a whole bunch of images like this, nice and long, and with a flower and then an explanation of all about it. And I've got some tracing paper, a little bit of stamping on the graph paper there, and then another little tag, and then those are blank on the other side. Some cards. And well, these were some recipe cards. So behind this image it says "From the Kitchen of," and then I've been coffee staining with plastic doilies and got some great images. Whoops, there we go. Great images on the paper, and not just doing paper, doing cards and graph paper and you name it, I'm dyeing it. And this is part of another waterfall that you'll see on the other side of this. So there's an envelope there. And this is something different. So this swings, and then this comes down, and then there's a whole place to write down here. And this is This was like some junk mail I got, but it's nice heavy card and sort of looks like a tag, I guess. And yeah, and it's on there with some, like, a lot of washi tape, which I've glued down because I never trust washi. And then some more lined paper, some more butterflies, another great big fat hinge, and another, this is the middle, and that's another needlepoint. That comes from this book, which is so pretty. I have a hard time cutting out of it, but when I do, I just love the effect that it puts in the journals. A little flip with some washi tape on it. And that's just a postcard I picked up at the thrift store from a vintage paperclip. Okay, sorry. Either my battery dies or my card fills up every time I do a video, so I always have to do them twice and splice it. Anyways, let's continue because we are almost done. So this is the other side of that waterfall, and this was one I had done previously, and it was just in a box sitting there, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use that up and stick it in here. And I think, yeah, there's a little secret tuck spot there. Some more blank pages. I don't know if you've probably noticed I like to have lots of blank space to write on or do whatever, draw whatever you want. So I decorate, but I don't go like super nuts with the decorating. So I have lots of blank pages. And then there's another spot just to write some notes to yourself. And a little pocket. And then this is the same as the front pocket. And it accidentally cut it so that I left this white spot, and instead of just cutting it off or wasting it, I put stamped, if you can see that says notes. I thought it looked pretty cute actually. I like the way it ended up. Then there's some more dragonflies. They're very, very faint though. I'm not sure. There we go. Yeah. And that's it. That's the end. So it's a pretty simple one, but I kind of like it. I'm getting to have quite a collection of journals now because I don't sell my journals. I usually just give them away to friends or family or whoever for special occasions. So, but I'm running out of special occasions and people to give them to. So I'm not sure what will happen with this one. It'll go on my shelf, I guess, and go added to the other ones. So anyways, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully it gave you some ideas of some different ways to use and decorate your journals. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe somewhere around here. And come and find me on Instagram too. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.